It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm MadDog the Scipio. This is America's Popcast. What's the buzz? And I am joined by a returning guest and a familiar face. God help me, she's back. Let me reintroduce you to Frankie Slawson. He is a DJ, radio on-air personality, wrestling fan extraordinaire, and a guy who does really neat backdrops. Look at that.
That's right. That's right. So good with the backdrop, you know.
I'm telling you what, brother. You look, hey, that's a skill, Frankie. I got news for you. I can't do that. You know.
Oh, that's not hard to do.
You're Italian.
I try to do that. That's part of your heritage. You're Italian. You're the Hesley classic.
Oh, don't give him a big head now.
That's okay.
I already have probably the biggest ego this side.
Sometimes you got to. Sometimes you got to.
And Amelia is back. Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. Yes, she is the Pitbull.
Yes.
Let me bring. You know, I want to bring up the big camera tonight, Mel. Let me bring up here. Well, hold on. Where do you go? There you go.
Don't scare people.
Hey, you know what it is? Ever since I got to tell people, we use StreamYard here, and StreamYard just had a major upgrade.
Yes.
And we're still trying to figure this shit out. What the fuck did they do here? Leon and Rosie, 7 p.m. as well in Stamford, Connecticut. It is 7 p.m. in Stamford, East Coast time. Amelia, let me just tell everybody, Amelia is back. It's a bittersweet occasion, but it's mostly sweet because, first of all, she's here, number one. Today would have been Amelia's 32nd wedding anniversary. And I know Jeff, we've been talking, brother. I know that Jeff would be happy and thrilled that you jumped back in the saddle.
Yes.
And I'm absolutely certain of that. I think we're going to celebrate your anniversary with good old fashioned stories and whatever comes to mind, and something embarrassing, something funny, whatever you feel like sharing.
Yes.
Just as long as it doesn't embarrass Joseph, because he'll come running in and shut you down.
Shut up.
But the other thing, we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling tonight, but maybe we'll get into something that brought us to the dance, our conspiracy show.
Yes.
So we will do that. First of all, I'm thrilled to have you. What did I do now?
The Texas twang I have is wrestling back in the day.
Oh God, yeah, please. Oh,
yeah, wrestling.
Wrestling, yeah, right. So, let me ask you a question there, Frankie. What kind of reaction did you get, if any, from your first appearance on the show last night?
I shared the link after we did the show, so I think it was mildly fair. Some of my cohorts from Renegade Radio were kind of confused because they thought I was done with Renegade Radio, and I'm just like, no, not done. We're just starting to partner up with more people. You know, anybody that wants to partner up with me and I feel has a good background and that can actually back up what they say, you know, and actually prove that they are who they say they are, is fine with me. And I feel like you're it, man. You're the guy that can help me achieve a lot of goals, and I'll try to help you achieve some goals too, and we'll work together. This is a good partnership, and I think
absolutely is, brother. Let me tell you something. And I've been around this business for 44 years, TV and radio, and 25 years professional wrestling promoter.
Yes.
I am who I say I am, and I got the pedigree to prove it.
Yes.
And I have the guest list to prove it.
Absolutely. And he tells you numbers.
They come on here. How many people? They all come on here. Hey, Angelo. Hey, MadDog. You know, they all know me. They all know.
Long time no see is the words that they say right after.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Paré came on and goes, "It's nice to see you again, Mad Dog. I hadn't seen him in like 35
Yeah,
years.
you know what he said right
Since,
here? He goes, "You
since
were in
Eddie and the Cruisers."
yeah,
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 yeah.
What was
yeah."
that, Neil?
He even told you. He goes, "Yeah, I remember you were in our movie too." He goes, "You were in our movie in that bar scene." He even
I
remembered
was
you.
I was dancing in the bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
See
first and only time you'll ever see my fat ass dancing in a bar.
that. Well, see, I love the Eddie Cruisers movies. I mean, that's something that I grew up with. We used to, funny stories that we used to rent the tapes, from the video
Mhm.
stores back in the day, and Eddie the Cruisers 1 and 2 was always something that we rented a lot. And now I have it on both of them on Blu-ray. But I'm hoping that one day Shout Factory or Arrow Video or somebody comes out with like a nice anniversary edition, because I believe they got a lot of behind the scenes footage, and that I get sick and tired of these Blu-rays of movies, especially of old films, where they offer nothing but a trailer and that's about it.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
to see a documentary or an
Yeah.
interview with with the whole cast and
Yeah.
local
I've
locations.
had, oh my God, Amelia, we had the whole cast of, what was that movie that George Martin did? It was called Fear the Night or something like that.
Some
That horror film. You remember the one that
Werewolf
Michael
at
Paré was in?
Midnight or something like that.
Oh, yes, the beast
Beast
comes in.
out
Yeah,
at midnight. Yes.
the beast
Mhm.
comes at midnight.
Yeah, and they did a free showing here in Tampa, Florida, and I got to go see it live.
Right. Yep.
with
And you were
them
there
and
with the Ed
the cast.
McKeever.
Mhm.
Remember when
Yes.
you interviewed Ed?
Yes, it was
Big
fun
guy.
to see the cast. Some of the cast showed up, and some of them wasn't able to
Yeah.
show up because, of course, they were out of the country.
The
But
other one that everybody showed up for here, and thank
Mhm.
God, there were like 13 of them. The
yes,
entire cast of the film called Turbo Cola. You're going to have to put that
that was
phone down,
awesome.
brother, because
That
we
was
don't do
awesome.
that
Turbo
here.
Cola, and they gave
Yeah,
us some
remember
free
Turbo
t-shirts.
Cola? Oh my God, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. This is we're on right now, Frankie. We are on live around the world. We are on Sky TV in England. We are in on Sky TV 2 in Canada. We are on United Arab Emirates around the world. I mean, we're everywhere. And we're on in more than 32 countries, so we have to be pro here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So if your phone comes out again, Amelia's going to come to your house and smash it.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
I've been to
I don't
Pitbull
know.
several times, haven't I?
Then I'll have to buy you a new phone.
I got a backup one just in case.
Oh, okay, I'm sure
Well,
you do.
what I was doing though is I wasn't just trying to be on the phone to be on the phone. I'm trying to share the live broadcast because I want my audience, because I want them to see what we're doing. I want everybody that follows me on Renegade Radio to come
There's
check
an
this
easy
out.
way to do that. There's an easy way to do that. Go
How's
on the
that?
StreamYard and make a shareable link. Very easy.
Oh, okay.
Simple.
Okay, I
Absolutely.
didn't know
You can share. Yeah. What's one of the upgrades that StreamYard did? That they've given us the ability to share. The guests can share their link with everybody, the whole world.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
like
that's
about
awesome.
that. You can put it on your Facebook page, Instagram. You can put it
Yeah.
on TikTok. You can put it on any social media
The
page.
easiest thing to do, Frankie, the easiest thing to do, just snatch up, copy, and paste our YouTube link. It's simple.
Sure.
YouTube.com/@what's-the-buzz-popcast. Just share it to your page.
What is it, Leon? Are you always ignoring Rosie?
Rosie's always said to me, off the phone, talk to me. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Leon.
I love these two. Yeah.
See, Rosie and Leon, they remind me of Ralph and Alice Cramden on The Honeymooners. They really do. They really do.
That's what Jeff used to say to me all the time. Get off your phone. You're home already. Start talking to me. I said, look, I've been at work. They have me put my phone away. He goes, yeah, but you're home already. Get off that damn phone.
Yeah,
I know, because Amelia lives on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
What else can we do?
My wife is the same way. Nita comes home. She sits down on the couch. The phone comes out, and that's how it stays till she goes to bed.
Me and Nina are two peas in a pod, right?
I'm telling you what, man. Absolutely. So listen, we're going to do. I will be a guest on Frankie Slawson's Renegade Radio Show on April 14th. We are doing the Road to WrestleMania countdown. We're going to do. Oh, I guess we're going to do predictions. We're going to do maybe a spoiler or two. I got some spoilers that nobody knows about
Awesome.
because I've been in this business forever and I'm older than dirt. And I'm gonna drop some names. I'm gonna drop a pipe bomb on some people,
Wow.
CM Punk style, and
Oh,
we'll have a good time there. The other thing is I have a major guest announcement to share with everybody. I found out today
hmm
that an A-lister will be joining us. A Hollywood A-lister will be joining us. I can't tell you his name yet, but he is an actor, a current film actor that you will know. He's one of those people, even if you don't know his name, you know his face because he's everywhere. I just scored that one today.
Awesome.
And Eddie Deason will be back, and Steve Joyner is going to put Eddie
Good.
back on the show.
I love
And we're going
Eddie.
to talk about Beetle Fest and stuff like that, and it's going to be a good time. So, but tonight I want to see where Frankie Slawson's head is with the conspiracy world because we love a good conspiracy around here. One of the things Amelia and I do is it's become kind of like a shit show around here when we do conspiracies. We talked last night about when the music died, the day the music died. We have more hard-hitting conspiracies. Like, for example, I'm going to bring a guy on the show who says the rumors aren't rumors. What you have heard, what you're hearing is true. Tupac Shakur is alive, and I know it, and I'm with him.
hmm
That's the kind of conspiracy shit we go down.
Yes, absolutely.
And he's coming on the show, and he's going to talk about why Tupac is in hiding to the point where Tupac Shakur for a while was in WITTEC. Now, you guys don't know what WITTEC is, but it's witness protection is what it is. That's what WITTEC is. It's short for witness protection. And he says there's a reason why he was in WITTEC, and the guy who got shot wasn't Tupac. It was a body double, a look-alike.
Yeah.
Which
Sure.
explains a lot to me. I'm going to tell you why. Because when Tupac came out of the casino that night, he was wearing one set of clothes.
Right.
When he got shot in the car, he was wearing another set of clothes. Nobody even mentioned that. The only person I ever heard mention that one time, was the LA police I'm sorry, not a LA, a Las Vegas police detective who said that Tupac's clothes seemed off from, that was his words, seemed off from the video, from the surveillance video.
Ah, so that explains a little
yeah,
bit
go ahead,
more.
Bill.
That explains probably why his bodyguard wasn't in the car with him then.
That's exactly why he wasn't.
Uh-huh. Okay, now
Because you just gave it away who's coming on. His bodyguard, Tupac's bodyguard's coming on. Okay.
Wow.
The guy that was with him in the video, he's coming on the show.
Because remember how I explained, I said, well, that is strange how the bodyguard was not in the car with them when he was supposedly shot. Remember, and we said supposedly because we couldn't say that he was definitely shot because you and I had that theory that it wasn't even him, remember?
It wasn't him.
Mm-hmm.
I said you before, remember me? I said
Yeah,
something ain't adding up about this
it's
shit.
not.
It's not
Exactly.
adding up. So let me ask you a question there, Frankie. Your take on Tupac Shakur. What happened? What do you think happened in Las Vegas that night?
Well, see, I doing the research that I've done about Tupac, which it's there's research there that has been done. I really don't know what to really say because it's like, you tell people this and it's like either they're going to believe you or they're not going to believe you,
Right?
and like to make it seem like you sound like a fool when you say stuff. But all this information that you're telling me now, probably makes more sense because it's like I would believe, in a way that he could be around.
Yeah.
I just would love to see him. I would love for him to stop hiding and make an appearance and say and explain why all these years, instead of having other people explain for him, have him explain himself, and then people would finally realize that we've all been kind of, this has been kind of a weird situation after all these years,
Very,
but
very odd, isn't it? Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is, and that's why I'm kind of giving you an odd answer because I don't know how to really handle it because
Yeah.
people would say what they
No, I
want.
mean it's fair. It's a fair statement. Absolutely,
Yeah,
of course.
until you
It's
actually see
one
the
of
person.
those things that we could dissect. The other thing I want to talk about tonight that's now it's out of the rumor mill and it actually on the news. And I have to say, we were the first ones. We were the first ones about 5 years ago on this show. And Nikita Brezhnikov was here and Mike Murphy was here. We did a show on the JFK assassination.
Mm-hmm.
I showed a video of the kill shot from across the street. Okay, the video taken facing the grassy knoll, not facing the president's car. Well, guess what popped up?
What?
MSNBC has an enhanced copy of that actual video,
Oh, wow.
but they're not letting anybody have it. Now they're going to court. Fox News, CNN are all going to court. All the news, ABC, NBC, CBS are all going to court trying to get that video because now it's public domain.
Hmm.
Now it's public. Now it's been released. Where do you think it came from?
Presidential
Any
files.
guesses? Huh?
Presidential files?
It came from, you're kind of right.
Mm-hmm.
It came from the declassified files
Yep.
that President Trump released.
Thank goodness. Finally.
Finally, this may blow the case because here's what's happening now. For the first time since John F. Kennedy was killed, for the very first time ever, 63 years ago, John F. Kennedy was shot. And for the very first time, the CIA is acknowledging that there was a conspiracy.
Wow.
They're acknowledging there was a conspiracy. The FBI said it could not have been a lone shooter. The FBI is saying this.
Finally, it's coming out.
Finally, I love my government again. And
Oh.
thank you, Donald Trump. I want to kiss you on the head
Thank
because
you.
you've restored faith in my government again.
Mhm.
How many times, Amelia, have I come on this show and said I love my country, but I hate my government?
Pretty much every show.
Pretty much every show.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell America now. I love my country and I love my government again.
Thank you, President Donald Trump. Thank you.
Making America's government great again.
Yes.
That's the other MAGA hat, MAGGA.
Do you think that
We're going to do that. I'm going to have a hat made up, MAGGA.
Yes.
Making American government great again.
Government. Make sure you put the gov on there.
Yeah. Gov.
Mhm.
Who's up in the chat tonight? Oh, Leon. Oh, Ruffian's here. Hey, Ruff. What's up, people? Sorry I missed yesterday. I was watching Raw. You dissed me for fucking wrestling? You shameless hussy, you.
And
But
wrestling was
let's
on
go
earlier in
to
the
coming
day,
in.
so he had no excuse not to watch because wrestling wasn't on at 7. It was on like at 2 in the afternoon because they're overseas. You know,
Oh, yeah. No, see, that's another thing. People
on
aren't.
Netflix now. So
Yeah, it's Netflix. Now it's live. But here's the thing, though. If they're in Dubai, it's 7 o'clock at night there, but it's like 2 in the afternoon here.
Yeah.
it
Crazy.
depends on where this person is that's watching. I guess if he's from that area or whatever. But if he's from the states, then it's like yeah, it was on earlier in the day yesterday because they're overseas. But next week
So
it'll be on at normal time again.
let me bring Ruffian into this conversation. You know who's missing from this? Ruffian's missing from this conversation, and Kenneth Jarrett Singleton is missing from this one. Ruffian, we were just talking about the newly released Kennedy documents, among which a piece of film has surfaced showing the actual kill shot of John Kennedy coming from the other side of the street. The film that we showed on this show 5 years ago. And I think we may have been the first podcast ever to show that.
Mhm.
And I certainly have that in my personal files. Nobody's getting that one.
Nope.
They could scrub it off the internet, but I got a hard copy of it. So that one ain't going nowhere. Not unless they want to break in my house and try to steal it. Good luck.
I don't think so.
Yeah, good luck. So that's what's going on, Ruff. So tell me what your thoughts on the Kennedy assassination are. What are your thoughts there, Frankie? Where does it go from here, kid?
Well, I mean, I on this one, I definitely have a little bit more to say because it's like, I kind of always figured, since I first heard about it a long time ago in school and everything, that they weren't telling us the right information and this whole thing with Oswald and everything. I think it's good that it's finally coming out because we're so sick and tired of just like it being under the water and everything being hidden. The truth
Yeah.
is better, and I really feel like well, it doesn't matter what you feel about Donald Trump or whatever. I just
Yeah.
feel like he's saying what he's doing what he said he's going to do. So that's a good president in my book.
Oh, absolutely. Amelia, why don't you do me a favor, Emil? I want you to handle the chat room tonight.
Okay.
Because sometimes I get lost in that chat.
Okay, sounds good.
Easy to do.
I
sometimes.
do.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not like. Believe it or not, I know I make myself look good on this show, but a lot of this is smoke and mirrors. I'm really like a klutz when it comes to technical shit. I really am.
So you like Cody Rhodes is one of his theme songs, "Smokes and Mirrors." Right?
That's why I got Frankie and Amelia here to make me look good because Frankie's a great the technical guy, and Amelia just keeps things from me looking stupid.
What I want them to do is
Anyway.
also help us with the Marilyn Monroe case too. I think that there's a lot of missing parts in that too.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's give it a. Let's kind of give it a. How we want to do this? Let's do this way. Let us go back to the beginning here. Okay, so if you guys are, some of you may be too young, which is most of you. Marilyn Monroe.
I was young too as well, but I still watched a lot of her movies because my parents, watched a lot of her movies.
Yeah,
later
and the
on.
other thing is, you educated yourself.
Yeah, I did. She was a beautiful lady. I loved her movies. And I
Right.
thought, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Any young girl would like to be her in the movies, but of course not and then we learned a lot of her personal life, which wasn't really pretty, of course. And then when
Right.
they suicide, I don't believe it was a suicide because the way they found her room. to be honest with you, with the pills.
Well,
And then we found the evidence, surrounding there was no water for her to take
yeah.
that many pills. Anybody that takes that many pills, there has to be some water.
Well, yeah. Well, we talked about that before. Tell
Yeah.
everybody what we're talking about, Amelia. We did probably
Several.
7 or 8 shows, at least that many.
Yeah, and then
On Marilyn Monroe.
a lot of the photos that you showed looked like it was a studio background instead of a home.
It did. It was very much a studio setting.
It was.
It looked it. It felt it. It didn't seem. It didn't seem real. How many people do you know in their house have vaulted ceilings
Mhm.
and the wall stops?
Exactly. And there's a ceiling
That's
right
a studio.
Exactly. And if I
Like,
was
who does that? Who builds a house like that? No, nobody.
nobody. And
Okay,
then
nobody.
also,
The other thing,
Mhm.
who packs a bag
Mhm.
and then decides to off themselves?
Exactly. Why would you
Her
do something
bags
like
were packed. Like she was going on a trip, but
Mhm.
she was supposed to go on a trip the
Yeah.
next day.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made sure she didn't.
Yeah, they silenced her before she could go anywhere.
Absolutely.
And
So
also,
who did it? Frankie, who did it?
I don't know. That's a good one because I really don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's back in those days, you figure how things were, and I don't Marilyn Monroe. I mean, I don't really understand kind of why she was so big on being with the Kennedys in the first place, or that whole thing, because it's like I don't understand why it needed to be the way it be, because she was just an actress and everything, and a good looking one, and had she just kept to herself,
Mhm.
maybe she was lived a full lengthy life, So
Interesting take on it. Well, aside from the fact that she was fucking both of the Kennedy brothers, and one was the attorney general and one was the president. Other than that, what other reason would they have the killer?
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's all the reason they needed.
Yeah, but that's still not a
You
good reason
know?
to kill somebody, no matter what. I mean, no matter if they're a good fuck, bad fuck, whatever. Shouldn't matter about that. It's like, how'd you get herself into that situation in the first place? It's like, why?
Let's see,
Why
Leon
her?
and Rosie.
Mhm.
Here's an interesting one, Frankie. Leon and Rosie said Marilyn was silenced by the Kennedys. Kennedy was silenced by the Illuminati. See, I disagree with you, Leon.
Yeah, that's why I didn't kind of share that.
Kennedy was not silenced by the Illuminati. He was silenced by the American consulate,
Mhm.
which is essentially the government. He was silenced by the government.
Mhm.
Those who knew wanted to keep their knowledge.
Yeah.
Simple. Find a patsy. Find somebody that looks like this guy. We'll find someone to place him where we want to place him. We'll put him where we want to put him, and we'll make him look like he was up to no good the whole time. So they found a Lee Harvey Oswald lookalike, and believe me, there were 4 of them, and we have all 4 of them. But guess what? They were all silenced too.
Yes.
Once their job was done, they were dead.
They were like, bye-bye.
Done.
Yep.
Done. This is how the government works.
Mhm.
The other thing, let me go back to the chat here.
Yeah,
CIA. Yeah.
Russian had
There
something.
you go. That's it. There you go. Leon, now you're on to it, Leon.
Mhm.
CIA. Absolutely. And it's the CIA, of course, Central Intelligence Agency. Some people call them the Consolidated Idiots Agency, because sometimes
Yes.
they did some stupid shit back in the day, boy. Today they are called the company.
Mhm.
They are called the company. And the FBI, ladies and gentlemen, contrary to popular opinion, does not stand for the Fat Boys Institute. It does not stand for full-blooded Italian. It stands for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Just so you know. There you go.
Full-blooded Italian though, because they remember they used that in ECW. Come on now.
Wait, I knew Big Vito, and I knew, God rest his soul, Tracy Smothers is gone, but
And
I
that's
knew
the
little Guido.
Yeah. Little Guido, that's right. They call him
You know,
Nunzio in
You had
WWE.
Big Vito, little Guido, and Tracy Smothers trying as redneck Southern, God rest his soul, as you get, trying to pull off an Italian gimmick. And the best was when they got a black guy to be Italian. That was funny shit.
You don't
That
know
was
any,
fucking
you don't know any
hilarious.
black Italian people at all? They don't exist at all? Or black
That
Chinese?
was fucking.
people?
Yeah.
Here's one that goes. This one goes under the radar a lot. And Amelia and I were actually supposed to do a show on this. Dorothy Kilgallen. And that's a name that most of you don't know. But if I say to you the television show What's My Line, then you'll know who Dorothy Kilgallen was. She was a panelist. She was a long-running panelist on What's My Line. Something very interesting happened to her. She died in her bedroom, sitting up reading a book, smoking a cigarette. Something funny about that situation, though. Okay? She never read her books in bed, and she wasn't a smoker. So now we have a problem right off the bat. And her body looked like it was positioned there because it was too neat. Someone put her in bed, propped her up, neatly put the blanket over her legs, tucked it in. If you're going to, Amelia, you like to read, right? If you like to read, are you going to sit yourself up in bed, tuck your legs in with your blanket, and then read your book?
No, I sit.
Or you just going to plop your ass on the bed and grab your fucking book and read?
I just sit down like on my bed and just plop up and read my book and put like one leg, swing out one leg like that. Yeah, I just.
Thank you. Thank you. That's how it rolls.
Yeah.
That's how it rolls. That's how people read books. They don't. And the other thing, and now I know women who do this, but thank God I'm not married to one. My wife is beautiful. She don't need it. But do you go to bed with full makeup on and lipstick? No. Only in the movies, ladies and gentlemen. Only in the movies do they wake up out of bed with their hair made up and lipstick and eye makeup and everything looking like $1 million. Only in the fucking movies.
Were they watching a movie and they thought this is a person reads and this is how they positioned her? Maybe
no, let me tell you what happened. She was writing a book, a tell-all book on what happened to the Kennedy assassination.
You know what I'm saying, I guess they saw it in a movie. This is how people read and this is how they decide that, maybe they saw it from some TV show and they thought,
the CIA, the Consolidated Idiots Agency.
That's why they were called that back then.
That's what they called them back in the day. Consolidated Idiots Agency. Because they were back in the day, and I'm sorry, guys, if you're listening, and I know you're listening. I have all the respect for the FBI and the CIA. I really do. I know I bust your balls, but I really do, because I know they listen.
That's how they get Netflix their ideas.
Here's the thing, though, and it's important to understand this. We are in a different time now. We're talking about a time when the Keystone Cops could have did a better job of solving crimes, okay? After the Kennedy assassination debacle, the CIA, under the direction of Allen Dulles, was called the Consolidated Idiots Agency. Because they couldn't, These guys couldn't solve a traffic ticket, okay?
Yeah.
They couldn't. Now that everything they do is state of the art, they got some of the best minds in the world working for the agency, for the company. I'm sorry, for the company. The FBI is the agency. The CIA is the company. No secrets here because that's what they're called. You don't believe that? Go online and look.
Yeah.
You know? Let's see. What the video of a guy confessing? Yes, I have that video, Ruff. The guy's name is James Files. That's his name. His real name is James Files, and he says, if you believe him, he says he is the man who pulled the trigger. I think he's telling a half truth with a lot of lie. I know he was there. They know he was there because there's pictures and video of him, film, not video, of him there. We know that. We know he can be accounted for in Texas at the time. Here's the problem. Nobody can place him at the grassy knoll. Nobody can place him behind the grassy knoll. No one can place him with a gun in his hand of any sort. The other thing is the person that we have doing the actual shooting was a man with ginger hair, glasses, with a military cut, who had a Dallas police badge on and a patch. But the Dallas Police Department says we did not have a man back there. So we already know he was CIA or he was a sniper from FBI. All right? We know that. Conclusive, hands down, we know that.
Yeah.
Irrefutable, undisputable. We know that.
Yeah. And Jeff confirmed that too, because the way the shot was, remember Jeff told you it was a sniper, because Jeff was a expert sniper in the Army.
Right. He was a marksman.
Yeah.
So was Lee Oswald, but guess what?
No. Yeah, it wasn't Lee Oswald. Yeah.
So was Lee Oswald, but I'll give you one. So is Mike Murphy.
Yeah.
And all you got to do, and Mike will tell you, Mike is military through and through.
Yeah.
Okay? That guy bleeds red, white, and blue. Okay? He's military through and through. He'll tell you. All you have to do is hit a target one time, and you're a marksman.
That's it.
One time. That's how you get graded.
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit we're talking about. We are at that point, folks. I know you missed it. It's back. They heard me. They responded. They're back. Are you ready for this one, Frankie? You've never seen this before. Brace yourself, baby.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we.
Sweaty balls no more, ladies and gentlemen. Manscaped.com is back.
Oh my God.
Back home with Papa Bear where it belongs. So, when we last left off, so Frankie, you're not really into this kind of stuff. You're really like a sports guy, aren't you?
Well, depending on. I mean, wrestling is my favorite. Of the athletic type of events. But I mean, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
What kind of subject matter do you? Renegade Radio. What kind of subject matter do you cover on Renegade Radio?
Pop culture, all pop culture, anything that's going on in our local areas. We have people that are, from all over. We just talk about random things. We improvise. I do a segment, every episode or two, and then we do interviews with some celebrities, and it's a good time.
What kind of celebrities you bring on the show? Talk to me.
Oh man, we've had everybody from early times, from Sirius Radio to freaking Sam Morrison Band from California. We've had who else? We had a lot of people. Lance Warlock and his dad Dick Warlock, who was in Halloween 2, or as Michael Myers, the original Halloween 2, and just so many. I mean, it's just people need to see that this connection that we're making between you and I, and going forward. I mean, it's bigger than you think. It's like two worlds colliding. It's like Hogan versus Andre, or Hogan versus a Warrior, or something like that. I guess I don't know. I don't know if I'd be Hogan and you'd be the Warrior, or vice versa. But
or Goliath meets Pee Wee Herman.
There you go.
Words from my cousin.
So what kind of reach does Renegade Radio have? What are your demographics? What kind of audience you have?
Well, it's more like between I'd say 18 and probably maybe 60, maybe 65, maybe 70. But like as far as like the view counts and stuff, I mean, we could do a lot better. We're nowhere near where we should be, but it's like, that's because limited marketing and stuff and all that crap.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is, and I think part of it is just the business itself, that there are so many podcasts out there that you've got to be. I mean, everybody. Let's be honest about it. Nobody's doing anything original because there is no original.
Right.
Yeah. All the ideas have been taken. Pretty much.
Yeah, everybody's doing what everybody else is doing. Here's what separates them. It's how they do it.
Yeah.
It's how they do. You can make chocolate ice cream. And Amelia can make chocolate ice cream. But she might use Hershey's chocolate and you might use Godiva chocolate. Now, is it still chocolate ice cream? Yes. But your chocolate ice cream is going to be more expensive than hers because you're using Godiva chocolate instead of that, that liquid shit called Hershey's.
Hershey Squirts or whatever.
Right? Here's the thing. Here's the point I'm trying to make it. It's still chocolate ice cream. There's a market for somebody's going to like chocolate ice cream. How much do they want to pay for it? $1 or $5?
Right.
Sure.
Mine's gonna be more old school chocolate though, compared to his, because his is gonna be more new,
Exactly.
And
people like the old school.
Yeah, and to quote my cousin Saul Molina, who you talked to the other day, wrestling's not wrestling anymore to him. Yeah. It's more.
We're going to talk about this. I got one for you, Frankie. I got one for you. I got a gentleman named Saul Molina. Okay. And Saul has an Ultimate Warrior action figure. It's 12 inches high, and it's got a drawstring on it that, does a warrior slogan, right?
Sure.
But he's having a problem with the recording inside when you pull the drawstring. Do you know somebody maybe that listens to your show that can fix something like that or tell him where to get it done?
There's probably some people that I know that could probably tell where to get it done. As far as fixing it, I'm not too sure because none of us are really. I mean, there might be. I mean, we have another, MadDog or whatever on our show, and he's a wrestler, and he might know how to, because he's a big knife collector and stuff, and he likes to get his hands dirty. Probably his brother John probably could do it too. So yeah, I guess you probably could because it's mostly old guys anyway. Besides one chick, So
one chick, one woman. You mean woman?
Yeah, woman. Yeah. We try not to make it a sausage.
That's what he meant to say, ladies and gentlemen. He meant to say one woman.
Well, we try not to make it a sausage fest, I guess, completely. That's our slogan too, I guess. That's what he says.
Can you tell that Frankie's audience is 99% male?
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of the idea at first. When I did this idea with
Well,
Sam,
no,
it's
but
like,
that's good though. And can I
Yeah.
tell you something? That's good because that's different. That's your market. The male audience is your market.
yeah,
That's perfect for you. I
Seems
gotta
to work.
hook you up with Manscaped.
yeah.
I gotta hook you up with
Did
Manscaped.
you recognize the voice on the Manscaped commercial?
No,
You did not? Really?
I mean, if I listen to it again, maybe I have to really pay attention because I paid attention, but I wasn't like guessing who it was.
Let me tell you something, brother. That's a fucking celebrity.
Was that you?
Yeah, it was me. Yeah,
I
it was
figured
me.
so. I figured. Well, you probably got the best software. You got good studio. You got good
I should
mics.
do a Vince McMahon on him,
I
right?
wrote it, I produced it, I directed, and I performed it.
Wow.
And I got paid for it, by God.
See, what you gotta do now is actually like put yourself on video using it. Like here's how you shave the bush.
Oh, we
and
did
everything.
already have
wait,
somebody do
Amelia.
that.
Amelia. Tell him what happened on this show live.
Oh my God, we had somebody.
Let her. I'm gonna let her tell you. Here you go. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Oh my
Neil.
God. We had somebody already do that. Thank you very much. It was so embarrassing, but he's a gay. So, but hey, I didn't mind.
Was he
Did I?
packing? Is that what you're looking at? Was he packing? No.
I don't know, but we didn't let him go that far.
The guy we had on.
I can't
Let me
even
tell you who
think of
we had. A guy on the show. Frankie, I swear this was hilarious. We had a guy on the show named. We had a guy on the show named Will. She's laughing her ass off. Look at her.
Oh yeah, I know.
We had a guy on the show named Will Keck,
Uh-huh.
and Will wrote a book called "When You Step Upon a Star." Okay, and he's a celebrity gossip, paparazzi guy, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Takes pictures of celebrities and stuff.
Mhm.
We had him on the show, and I had to play my Manscaped commercial.
Mhm.
Do you know he came back and he had
stood out.
after the commercial, he had
stood
his shirt off and he was shaving his pubic hair,
He unbuttoned his pants, undid his
unbuttoned
zipper.
his pants and was shaving his hair on the air. Amelia, am I lying?
Good rhyme,
No,
though.
I have that video.
I'm not. I can't. I swear to you, I'm not making any of this up.
He unzipped his pants and he was like, "Oh, I thought we were supposed to do that." And I was like,
thought Amelia was going to lose her shit. That was
I was like, "You
fucking
can still
hilarious.
finish if you want." Didn't I?
I want everybody to know that Frankie Slawson is the new host of Wrestling with the Future. That will air every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. right here on this network, WWTF and WTBR Radio 88.7, sister stations with the same beautiful signal, busting it out worldwide. We are in 32 countries. Thank you to Manscaped. Thank you for that. We could not have done it without you. Thank you to Pepsi for doing that, and your brand of products, and what amazing people they are. The other thing, and I want people to know, is that I'm wanting to say next Monday. I think next Monday, Amelia, is that what we said?
Monday or
That we're
Tuesday, got to get with his schedule to find
Yeah,
out. what day
Monday
he's
or
free.
Tuesday of next week, we're going to have the return of a much requested guest. Johnny Patillo will be here. Johnny was one of the original members of Danny and the Juniors.
Mhm.
He also sang with the Duprees. He sang with a number of doo-wop groups back in the 1950s and 60s. And he worked with and opened for Tony Orlando for 30 years.
Yeah.
He was with Tony.
Yes.
And we were going to have, and we still may.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Tony Orlando on the show.
I'm gonna see if he's available one of those 2 nights as well, so maybe they can be together. I'll ask him.
Well, I know Tony's in Las Vegas right now.
Mhm.
He lives in Branson, Missouri, but
Yes.
I know he's in Vegas right now.
Mhm.
He's not performing anymore, folks. Tony Orlando is not performing anymore. He is retired. What he's doing, my understanding is he's trying to put a book together, trying to put a movie deal together. He's working it, trying to put some money together for like a movie and a book, and because that's
I'll,
what you got to do.
I'll ask him to see if he's free for an hour. You never know.
What's that?
I'll ask him to see if he's free for an hour Monday or Tuesday of next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've asked if he can ask Tony to please do it for me.
Yeah, exactly.
His number one fan.
Yeah, she ain't lying either, brother.
No.
So what can fans expect me to do? Host my first episode then of the series. What were we talking? We were waiting till
The first episode is. I'll tell you what I would suggest. I'll never tell you what to do, but here's what I'll suggest to you. And because you know the wrestling market, you know what's going on. I'll tell you what I would start with, especially next week when it's becoming fresh.
Okay.
WrestleMania. I would get really hard hitting into the last. I would say make the comparison between this WrestleMania and say the last 4 or 5. How is this one going to stack up against Philadelphia or AT&T Stadium or the Hoosier Dome or wherever the case may be? I would make that comparison. Let's do like a short history, Frankie, of WrestleMania history the last 5 years.
Oh, El Ruffian has a comment. Maybe let's see here. Can you check and see as maybe Frankie can answer that comment?
Let's see. For Real Wrestling has more talk than wrestling. But I'd rather have shorter promos and more. For Real Yo, I don't know what For Real Yo is. What is that?
Must be a wrestling group or something on Facebook.
Yeah. You just took a picture of yourself, you fucker. What are you doing?
No, I heard a ding or whatever, the freaking Facebook or whatever just notified me that somebody's trying to get a hold of me.
Oh, I guess he means that wrestling has more talk than wrestling lately.
Is that it? For real?
Almost in wrestling.
Oh, he's getting down like with the bros. Oh, for real, yo.
Yeah. I thought it was like another wrestling channel or something.
I haven't watched.
Can I put things into perspective for you guys? You have to remember something. Okay, Frankie is like 41. Amelia is like 52. I'll be 66. Okay, I'm the old fart in the room here. Do you guys understand that?
Pick up 6.
Like when you put For Real Yo, I think that's the name of a company, For Real Yo.
Well, the way they have it worded, yeah, of course. I thought so too.
I didn't know that was like the brothers talking. Yo, for real, yo, you know?
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to catch me up because I haven't watched wrestling in so long. It got boring.
Catch you up. Frankie will catch you up. He's the wrestling guy.
I haven't watched.
That's why he's here.
It got boring to me. I'm sorry, but it did because it's more athletic to me, more acrobatic than it was. It's not wrestling to me anymore. Not like it used to be.
Incredible. I'm telling you what.
We'll make it exciting.
I know you will, brother. I've no doubt about it. We are. Damn, that was a fast hour.
Yes.
Holy shit.
What do you think about the Hall of Fame? Who else do you think should belong in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, there's a big list, and that gets kind of controversial because I believe one of the biggest stars that they keep forgetting about. Two, I would say. There's Owen Hart, who I believe should be in there, and I know that they'll probably never happen. And then I still believe Chris Benoit should be in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say something about that. You just struck a nerve with me. Owen Hart. I think it is absolutely disgraceful that they waited all these years to do anything, and they still haven't done anything. But I think what's even more disgraceful is that Owen Hart's widow is the one holding it back.
Yeah.
She doesn't want it. She doesn't want him in the Hall of Fame because she thinks that Vince McMahon killed her husband.
Well,
That's
but
a big rumor
that's
going
the
around.
thing about that. What I don't understand is like, I look at Martha Hart and I see Money Mark, I see Gold Digger. She didn't wrestle. She didn't put in the time and all that. Owen did. Owen deserves to be in there. And Benoit too. I mean, okay, yeah, he killed his family, and it's horrible. That has yet to be proven, by the way. There was no footage and all of that stuff when that happened.
I disagree about Benoit. Sorry.
I want to say something, and I'm going to stir a lot of shit right now.
Good. I want to hear
Papa Bear is going to stir. I'm going to poke the hornet's nest.
7 shows.
Chris Benoit is as guilty of killing his wife and kid as Lee Harvey Oswald was for killing John Kennedy.
We did 7 shows about that one, or 8.
Yeah.
Did we do 8?
I've done 9 shows.
9. Yeah.
9 shows on Chris Benoit. 4 of those shows I've had law enforcement here.
Oh.
3 of those shows I had never before seen or heard audio and video.
Yes.
And on one of those shows, I had a personal friend of Chris Benoit who said point blank, and the show is out there. Ricky O, he's out there. Came on and said, ain't no way.
Yep.
I truly believe that he was set up. That somebody broke it to his
Amelia
house.
and I said it before, and Amelia and I will say it again. I believe when all is said and done, look for the name Guerrero to be attached to that murder.
Yes. Chris Benoit
I think the guilty parties are going to end up being Chavo Guerrero and very possibly complicit with Eddie's wife, Vicky Guerrero.
Sure.
Because we already know, we have established factually that Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero were very physically intimate. I don't know if they were gay, but they were clearly bisexual. We know that factually. The other thing that I'm going to explore, and I have proof that it's going to blow people away, that Dominic Mysterio is Eddie Guerrero's son, not Ray's son.
Definitely looks just like Eddie.
He looks, he sounds, he works like. There are certain things you can't learn. Certain things just come natural. Dominic Mysterio has Eddie written all fucking over him.
I mean, we pretty much are getting
that's
modern
because
day
of South
right? Well, yeah, and the way he looks now, I mean, it's like they're pretty much just giving us Eddie Guerrero now. Like today's Eddie Guerrero.
Here's one for you. Miss Elizabeth. Now I met Elizabeth. I met Elizabeth and Randy and Lon and Lanny Poffo. Lanny was a guest on the show. I met Lonnie. I keep wanting to say Lonnie. I met Lanny, Randy, and Liz. I met them at the Philadelphia Spectrum. I was an invited guest of Cal Rudman at the time. And nice woman she was, a sweet lady. Did she have problems? Yeah. I'll be honest. Did she have issues? Yes, she did. Did she like to drink? Yeah. But she was more of a pill popper than a drinker.
Yeah.
That was her problem. Is that she had this, she couldn't shake that monkey. She had this thing for I don't know what you want to call it, not even getting high, but she wanted to kill her pain.
Yes.
Whatever this pain was, she wanted to kill it.
She had an addiction, pretty much. She couldn't get away from
exactly.
That's the sad part about that, yeah.
Dom has Ray's face. I don't think he does. I think Dominic has Eddie's face. He's got Eddie's shape. Rey Mysterio has a round face.
Yeah.
He's got a round face. Eddie had a long face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, listen, folks, we are up against the clock. It is that time for Frankie, call me, Wrestling with the Future's new host, Slawson, for Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, who will be back in action next week. Thank you, Amelia, for letting me pull your ass up here tonight.
It's good to be
Thank
back.
you for sharing Jeff with us. Thank you for sharing your anniversary with us.
Yes.
My heart, my sweetie, goes out to you. I love you and Joseph. You're
Love
good
you too.
people, and I will tell you straight up, he was a good guy, man. And just remember that. And I am the Mad Dog, and I'll see you guys next week, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. And you know, it's when it comes to the Lord, you know, we're promised only today.
Yes.
Tomorrow is a blessing if it comes.
Yes.
Okay, so remember that. Be kind to each other. Talk good of each other. It's one day at a time. Every journey, folks, begins with one step.
Yes.
Let's
And
take
tell
one
everybody
step
you
at a
love them
time.
more than love every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Remember, this is What's the Buzz? America's Best Popcast. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.